arteries are filled, the blood flows through my veins, a gentle love unstilled.
Hello, George.
Hello.
So tell me, who is George?
George Montague is me, and I like to play piano, guitar and ukulele, and do little silly dances.
Everybody down!
Tell me about you, where you've come from, how you reached this point. Has music always been a passion, or is it something that you've developed as you've grown older?
Yeah, I've always loved pulling faces, imitating voices all the time. If you actually talk to me for a great length of time, I will end up doing some kind of voice or anything. It's why a lot of people have said I've got that Jim Carrey-ness, and I've always loved The Mask as a film, and that was one of my passions. I've always wanted to have that rubber face and the rubber voice so I can do whatever I want.
So this is beginning to show through in your music. Are you using music as a way of...
I think it was. I always wanted to do the performing thing, but I always hoped that I would go into film and stuff, and obviously it's early days and I would love to do films and things, but it really has been that I started writing when I was about 12, 13, and just this fire was awoken that I didn't even know was there. It had never occurred to me that I could write the songs that I could then perform. It always seemed like an unattainable goal to write a song.
Yeah, absolutely. So what instrument did you start with, and how did you...
I started with, I was classically trained in the double bass from when I was about 11, I think, and which was quite a sight to see me walking into school with a giant double bass.
Which I imagine was twice the size of you.
Yes, it was rather comical, but I always loved it as an instrument, and the bass is so much fun to play. But to go up in the grades for that, I had to do grade 5 theory, music theory, which was great fun actually. It really opened my eyes to music as a whole and unlocked my eyes to the piano, which had always seemed like a crazy mysterious box of tricks that I would never understand how it was and how it worked, and I couldn't imagine not being able to play it now. I adore the piano. I mean, I play bass still on occasion, and I've branched out into guitar and ukulele now as well, just for the fun of it and just to explore the music. But piano is always my safe haven. I always never feel more comfortable than when I'm sat behind the keys.
Your album is a journey. Your music is very different. Every song is very different, and I think it's been put together very cleverly. And there's so many different genres within that album. What I'd like to do is just talk through the different songs if we can, and take us on the journey that is George Montague. Your first song is Blood Ties.
Yes.
Well, actually, sort of maybe just going back a bit, can you explain to me how you came about putting the album together, and the style of songs that you did, and how you started with Blood Ties?
It's weird, really. I mean, from the point of view of when we were recording, we didn't record them in that order at all, which is I can't even remember. The order we recorded them was very odd, but Matt, the producer, he had it all planned out, and he had it
obviously a reason for his.
Very well done. I mean, it was like we were recording some of the more mellow, easy ones, just sort of easy going ones, in the first couple of days, so that because I hadn't played with the musicians I was playing with until that day.
Right.
But Matt chose them because they were his best, and they are.
Phenomenal. Well, I mean, it comes out in the album. Exactly.
It was incredible. But with actually choosing the songs for the album, because I've written loads of songs over this time. There's got to be like 50 plus. I mean, there's probably only about 30 I'd ever want to use. But
you've got a massive
and to actually whittle them down. Originally, I was only going to be recording an EP, so we actually did. I did a day in a studio to decide
Which ones?
from 11 tracks to go down to 4, 5, and then Matt turned to me at the end of the day and said, "Just do the album." So it was actually just a default of my 11 favourite songs that I loved playing for the past couple of years, and then after recording it, to choose the order was tough. It was I wanted to take the listeners on a journey, but also, as each song is its own individual story, it's not like a concept album where I could say, well, it is a concept album, but the concept is Have You Met George? It's an introduction
It's an introduction to you and your music.
And all of that.
Well, let's perhaps go on that journey and start with Blood Ties, your first song. What's it all about? When did you write it?
I wrote it a couple of years ago now, and it was basically talking about how that no matter how far away you are from anyone, if you love them or they are, there's a bond there, you are tied by the blood that flows between you, as it were. And so it was just kind of like my way of doing a love song. And then I kind of, because I've done, there's a couple of the songs on the other songs on the album that have that, real love song feel to them. But I wanted to do one that wasn't a ballad. I wanted to do one that was more.
It's not a typical love song, a bit of a George take on a love song.
Just a bit more fun and groovy. I mean, I'd always wanted to write some sort of funky tune, and never felt confident that I could. I always felt I needed to put in more. So actually, with the chords and the actual writing of the song, I was thinking, no, if I keep it quite sparse, because I'd listened to a load. I was brought up on Earth, Wind and Fire pretty much throughout my life, and Madness as well, and George Michael and Prince, and
you can see a lot of those influences in your music.
But the Earth, Wind and Fire really was. I was listening to them one day, and I remember thinking how it's not easy to play, but it's very simple. It's a very simple idea. That with a lot of the songs you can just keep the same very simple in chord terms 1 to 4 in a scale, and you can keep doing that for quite a while if you've got a nice good bass lick and you've got a big nice groovy beat behind it. It can do it for quite a while, and so it really it was just sort of having fun with it. Because it's not a full riff, it might be nice if it had the cross.
Yeah. When you are playing it, you're playing it really. You're laying into it. The cross stick next to it sounds a bit. I'm not supporting you enough, like.
But in the quiet bit, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a lot less. Yeah, because we didn't actually record we didn't record the songs in the order they are on the album. We recorded them in a very sort of well thought out manner by Matt, the producer. He knows how to. I don't know how he does it, but his planning.
To get the best out of you, isn't it?
Retrospectively, looking back on it, it's totally perfect. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he'd only known the songs for probably less than a month. So
he can't get you to do 5 energetic songs in a row.
It's got to be well paced, and it's got also, because I hadn't ever played with the other musicians before, there had to be a sort of, a way of bonding us with the first song to try and sort of.
And this was the one to do it.
Make sure. No, it was actually the first song we recorded was First Footprints in the Rain. But Blood Ties was actually quite near the end of the week. It was
presumably in that case when you had all bonded.
Yeah,
and he knew that he would get
what
he needed for the song.
Yeah, it was one of the shortest to record. I think it only took about 3 hours from us first actually playing, me playing the song to them and working it through with them, to actually laying down takes. So, obviously it's not all the instruments. We overdubbed the guitar, most of the guitar. Afterwards, and then also the brass and the backing vocals and my lead vocal, but the piano, the bass and the drums on every single song are recorded at the same time, and they are that take. So it's
amazing. Was it incredible having these musicians playing your music, going from your bedroom where you've written these songs to them actually having these people singing and being in a studio?
It was phenomenal to have their experience and their wealth of just knowledge to their craft. They know what they're doing, and they know how to get the best out of what they do. And Matt knows what he's doing and how to get the best out of the people he's working with. And he did say, I want to get my dream team on with this, and they're his go-to guys, and he uses them quite a lot for different artists.
And obviously worked incredibly well with you.
They worked like a dream, a true dream. Everything they did, I mean, the songs on this album are the best possible versions of these songs I could have ever wished for. They truly say what I always wanted them to say, but never thought I'd quite.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you didn't actually know how you were going to get it.
Yeah, I had no idea that that was possible. Like I said, it was, it's the same as when I suddenly realised, I can write the songs that I want to perform. It was now suddenly, I can really record these songs that I want to perform.
And you can get people to produce the sounds you want.
I am so happy, and that Blood Ties was actually the first song I got back from Matt as all the mixes, because they had sounded incredible themselves, even without my vocals. Just having the bass, drums and piano playing together, it sounded amazing. The way Matt records, the way he recorded this is a very just rock and roll classic recording, which is setting up the mics in the right place and just letting it record, rather than sort of recording it and then putting it through loads of different filters and processes afterwards. It's
just
just
a very natural
set it up. It's just literally, it's pretty much what your ear will hear if you were in the room with us. So to have it then back was amazing. To suddenly have my piano, this bass, this drums, the guitar, then the brass, and then the backing vocals, and then my voice all together, just
in one place.
I knew as soon as I heard it that it had to be the song that opened the album, because there was no other way I would want that song.
It's really the introduction, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, and that's very key.
If someone said to me, "What's your music like?" I would play them that song.
Yeah.
That's what I'd want them to perceive
as George Montague.
As George, as that George sound, because it captured all of my influences. I think it really captured Earth, Wind and Fire, who I was brought up on completely. It captures, I think, even a bit of sort of Prince as well, and I'm so proud of it as a song.
I find myself